Okay, the chat is over here. Okay, well, let's do this. Alrighty. Decided to backtest today because, why not? So, I'm backtesting now with the 5 minute because today on the chart there's a 5 minute for value gap that we came into, which was like all my drawdown, and then we went my way on the 3 minute. So, let's keep testing it. So, I have the 100, 200, 9 and 20. Sorry, 9 and 21 EMA, and then the 200 and the 100. I don't use the 100 and the 200 on the 1 hour because there's no point, but since we're on the 5 minute, YOLO. Let's see. So I did get a win today. But let's just, and it was a good win. We love a good win. All right, so the strategy is I usually look on the 1 hour first to see if there's like a fair value gap or anything, just to be extra safe. And there is one that we already are bouncing out of, so that confirms kind of buys, boom. And then I really just let if there's a fair value gap like there was today on the lower time frames. Obviously, I trade it. I like it better when there's one. There's a 5 minute fair value gap. We're about to inverse here, but I don't like fair value gaps inverses on the 5 minute because I've seen it close and then still go against you. So that's why we added the EMAs. The EMAs just help us know like, hey, we're actually going up or down. So you enter off space from the EMA. Like you enter on one of these candles where there's space, not when it's like touching, like the one we see right here. This is 9:30. And if it's a big 9:30 candle, sometimes I'll wait to see if it comes down a little bit first, especially right after 9:30. I did enter right after 9:30 today at 9:33. I did. We kind of already swept this liquidity. Let's wait for an. Okay, well, we probably should have gotten in on that one because now it's just gone without us. But my bracket is only, if you're scared, whatever. We'll just get in here. We might lose because this is super late. However, my bracket is 212, and I just do 212. And it's crazy because I used to be like, this is so big, I don't like a 1-to-1. But at the same time, so half the time, I'm closing before it hits this. So it's really like it's a mix between a hard stop and a mental stop, if that makes sense. Let's see if I got in too late. Okay, still worked out. So I got in late, still worked out. Boom. And I'm done for the day. I don't take more than one trade a day. But then obviously it kept going if you want more. Lately, like yesterday and Monday, we traded so shitty with like low volume that we got like 200 ticks at most when we got confirmation. And then for like hours. Now, if you held all day on Tuesday, it did go to like 300. Yo, what up? It went to 300 at like 3 p.m. I'm not staying on the chart all day for that. So I would like to get 300 a day, but right now I'm just sticking to 2 because I know even when it ranges or volume's low, I can get my 212, if that makes sense. So I want something that I could put this on the chart, get my minimum, and go every day at the moment till I get a payout. Once I get more payouts, more money, maybe I'll honestly, I'm about to go on 2 contracts on my live account, and then I can take one at 200 and then let the next one ride. But then again, I don't know let the next one ride, and then it goes back to break even, and then I'm just break even on both trades. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those traders, which is something I've learned off social media. You need to decide what trader you are, because I read the Biggest Loser Wins, and he's a trader where he gets mad if the trade keeps running and he only locked in this and it keeps running, and I'm opposite. I get mad if I don't secure anything and I'm waiting for more and then I get stopped out for less. That's how I feel. Futures, not Forex. So that's why I am okay taking 200. If it goes without me, it goes without me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Versus I hate when it goes to me and I want a little more. Like say I wanted 400 and it goes to 3 and then goes back to stop me out. That makes me more mad than locking in my 2. So you have to do with that what you will. But this is futures. So basically, I tried ICT, but I added in these EMAs because even though EMAs lag, they're so good. You wait again till you have space. Obviously, then you add ICT for. There was no fair value gap here, but say there was a fair value gap here, you would wait for that. Or if you waited for the bounce, a lot of EMA traders, you could have just got off this bounce. You could have waited for this space. However, the space lines up with this IFVG on the 3-minute. So you would have entered here anyway if you waited for the bounce. If you're an EMA trader or ICT trader. So that's why I fuck with it. And then it helps me know when we're ranging. Like, we're close to the EMA, I'm not entering a trade. I don't care if it's a good fair value gap. Because sometimes you'll get an IFVG like this, but we're in the middle of these EMAs, and then we just range. It's not a bad entry, but we just range. And I was like sick of ranging. And I have had I lost yesterday only because I was impatient. I went against my bias, and I traded pure EMA without looking at higher time frames. A higher time frame was clearly bullish yesterday, and then we were in between these, and that's something I'd never seen before. So we did get space on the 9 EMA below, but we were in between the higher time frame EMAs and the lower ones. So I just took the short because like I'm trying out a new strategy. And then the buy, I took the buy yesterday, which was the buy of the day. After we chopped all morning, and then since my rules are 1 trade a day, I closed the buy early in like a small loss. So I didn't instead of holding it, it wound up playing out because I was like, you broke your rule, you shouldn't be back in the trade. Even though I did wait for the final confirmation above all 4 EMAs yesterday. So I didn't make anything yesterday. But today I made, I have 4 accounts. I have 3 real accounts, 2 fundeds, and a live, and then I have 3 evals. I made 200 on all the evals, so 600, and then I made 300 on all the live accounts, so 900. But I'm going back up on my regular lot size next week. I was like 2 trades from losing, like blowing my account, so I'd like lower my risk and just like build it up. That's why I kind of got off social media. I kind of don't want to get back on fully until I have like a nice payout and I'm like making money consistently again. But it can't hurt to back test. So, alrighty, let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, I hate when it's some shit like this because we're just in this giant gap and it's so much more room for us to go lower if we want, like, or we could just reverse from now. Like I said, I need 200. And there is another gap here we could go to, I guess. So let's just see how the EMAs play out for us. I'm also watching TV, so if I zone out. Okay. So 9 EMA is my orange one. So I like to wait until we get a nice candle open away from it. And you get the cross. I don't trade off the X's, but I like when they line up. I'd enter off this. Or sometimes I'm like, we can wait and then get in, somewhere here. But I'd enter off this. And I just have a big ass stop loss, like y'all know. And sometimes it does still get stopped out, which sucks. But... And then, oof. It's at the top of this 1 hour gap, so I feel like it could go push, but it could reverse. But we're below all 4, and it's good space between the 100 and the 200, so... It literally almost came to our stop loss. I've seen it barely tap these 4 hour these 1 hour gaps, and it'd be pissing me off. So yeah, we lost this one. I don't trail anymore. I used to trail, but it's like, I mean, it just sucks because like if you trail, you'll get stopped at. Well, my first trail is at 200 anyway, and I don't even think we got 200. Let's see. No, we just been fucked. We've been fucked. Unless we maybe waited for it to pull back in the fair value gap, which I might start doing, and then we got our, we got hit. So, how much should I start with? Nothing. Paper trade first, or $50 and get you a funded account. For a live account, like $500 though. $500 1 contract. But I'd practice. Don't ever start with real money first. So yeah, that sucked. But then the good thing about this strategy, you can get back in and it's probably gonna play out for you. Also, we did have a 5-minute fair value gap here. It's tiny, but we could have waited for that. Like I should have waited for today. How do I practice? Any broker has paper trading. That's the good thing about trading. It's the only business model that lets you practice. Just pick a broker, whether it's TradingView whether it's Ninja Trader, whether it's Thinkorswim, whatever the fuck, all of them have paper trading, so you don't have to even pay for anything. This is called FX Replay, which is also backtesting. In practice, this is $30 a month though, but you can practice in real time and like not in real time. You can practice replaying things versus like if you practice with paper money, you have to be on the chart in real time, like really executing. So backtesting is good to like get your confidence up, see if your strategy works. You can test like 10 days in an hour, you know, like we can go to the next day right now. Versus when you practice paper money on a live broker, you do have to spend the hours trading every day and practicing. So it takes a little more time. So you should do both. You should get this FX Replay, and then you should be getting on the chart every morning and just marking up. Don't take trades, honestly, even with paper trade. I started with just like, hey, I like this setup. I get in a short here. I want to take it here. My stop loss would be here. Did I win? And then you just journal this. What happened? Okay, it went close, but it didn't, good trade, bad trade. That's what I did at first. Most brokers have this tool here. You can just place a short, place a buy without really doing it. So it's like less risk. I mean, it's no risk. Just get your feelings together. And then you go to actually taking trades on a paper account, you building your emotions up, and then on a live or a prop firm, whatever you prefer. Okay, this day looks insane. It must be a holiday. March. The show is extremely unserious, but actually insane. Let's go to the next New York session. So, as ICT trader, most likely might go to this, liquidity down here. However, I don't know. We have liquidity sweep here. We sweep here. We have one here. We could reverse, but we're broke under on the 3-minute. We have not broke on the 5. That's why we wait for the first 9:30 candle to play out. Okay. Ooh, Jesus. There's no fair value gap. When there's no fair value gap, you can trade an order block. Sometimes if a candle is really big like this, like if my full stop loss is the candle, let's see. Oof. My full stop loss is the candle, but YOLO. YOLO. But usually if it's something like this, I either go on the 1-minute or I wait for it to come into here. But the EMAs are holding too above it a little bit. So let's just see. So, okay, we're back at the gap. I mean, at the order block. Like I said, there was no gap, so there's order block. So it's better to wait because I just know myself. I'm impatient sometimes. So sometimes I don't give a shit like this. Fuck. Come on. Okay, well, if I would have waited, I probably would have won way faster and I lost. So this was a day I should have waited. But you see how it can go your way as long as you have your stop loss prepared for the pullback. You'll get it, But I'm starting to learn because this is a 3-minute and this is a 5-minute. Like, it's a lot of, on NQ, like, one candle can be 100 ticks, 150, whatever. So yeah, that's what happened. It went almost all the way, but see if we waited. And when I wait for the reaction out of. I still don't just set a limit order, but I still would have got a better I would have got a better entry and it would have played out. So let's backtest that now. Actually, we already seen how it is when I just get in off the break. Let's see if we can get a break, a nice space, and then a retest. And if we enter off that, what it looks like. So let's go to the next New York session. See, this is why I don't. Because look at that. This is why I don't wait for retest, because sometimes it just leaves without you. Sometimes it just leaves without you. But let's see. Okay. We kind of got a touch here. But I don't think we got 220. 212 I meant. Yeah, we did not get 212. It's testing again. Do we come up or are we just reversing? See, now we're reversing. That's why I don't. But you get a break and a retest here. And then you get a break. Sometimes the break is the reversal. That's why I like to get in, like I said, just here. And then I'm riding it up. So sometimes you just win some, sometimes you lose some. That's just what it is. Thank you for the gift. Bad entry, need to wait for the re-ejection and retest. No, I don't do. It doesn't matter if your stop loss is big. Because look, again, I get it. I get people who do wait for the retest. But I personally don't. I've seen it go without me enough where I don't like waiting for the retest. I just like to get when there's space. Because see, now we had space here. And then, like I said, I'm doing a 1-to-1 right now. Boom. And then even if I got in here, boom, played out. Versus if you got in off this retest, same thing, you lost. So it doesn't, it's the same shit. Just have your stop loss big enough. Obviously, if you want a tighter stop loss, then yes. Because if you waited here, now your stop loss is here. You got the retest, your stop loss is smaller. So yes, you do risk less. But you're going to win the same. But I guess if you're risking less and you win, your losses are so smaller, so you might be making more money. Which is, kind of fair. So, again. You have to do what's best for your emotions as well. Okay, so we broke here, but we're not above the 9. The 9 is the orange one. We divinite, so we technically wouldn't get in until here. I like that space. It sucks. When I was first doing this, I had 1 to 2 RR so I could take 2 trades in a day. 1 to 1 RR, I'm probably not taking 2 trades in a day. Because then if I lose, now my loss is double. But if I win, it's just break even. Versus like when I had a 1 to 2, if I lost 1 and 1-1, I'm up for the day still. So I kind of wish I can get it back to 1 to 1. It's just sometimes I'm like, what would 1 to 1 be? It would be 106. Which is, I mean, right above the EMA. And what we get here is a fair value gap exit. Lines up with our EMA cross. You see what I'm saying? You see how they just go, they just make love, sweet love to each other. Also, trading in between is good when it's far. When it's far like this, and you can get your 200, 300 ticks, your take profit probably, or your first one should be the 100 or 200 EMA. Now, when it's close together like I did the other day, even though ILBV trader, whatever her name is, I don't know her name, that's her, all her pages, the black girl, she did the same thing and she took 150 ticks both ways and got started at break even. So it's like 150 is still a lot of ticks, but we both like to get like 200, 212, like she can get up to like 300 some days. Like I just, I need that because I can only trade 2 micros on Top Step because I trade on Ninja Trader. If I was using Top Step X and I could risk 3 micros, it'd be, whatever. So I could take 150. But here we are. Okay, so, break and retest, lost. Mine won on here, but break and retest and my own strategy lined up together. It broke a little bit, but not below the 9. Came back in its fair value gap, broke, gave us space between the 9 and the 21, and then I entered a short. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. And I feel so much better with my trading. Because some days with ICT is like, I think this is the me problem, number one. I don't like sitting on a chart all day. I got into trading for time freedom. So a lot of that, even though I see my strategy was working, it wouldn't happen the same time every day. So I have to sit and wait. Maybe sometimes it happen at 11:50, sometimes it happen at noon, or same like supply and demand traders. They wait for a zone to be tapped in at noon, 1 o'clock, taking 3-4 trades all the day, and that's just not me. I'm one and done. I like to keep it quick. I like to trade for an hour. So adding EMAs helps me know exactly when we're finna move, and then I could partake in 9:30 volume if we have it. And if we're not and we range at 9:30, usually we get a move at 10. I used to get at 10 o'clock, and then there are days when 9:30 just ran down 300 ticks, and then 10 o'clock is just ranging. And then there's days where 10 is continuing from 9:30 or it's reversing, so it's cool. But it's if I'm at 9:30, I can either catch the move or I can range and then know the move's coming at 10. So that's what I like to do. But let's see, we're kind of up already, so Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like we're going to continue bullish, but we can finally cross. There's good enough space to take a short if we want to take it. Yeah, 350 ticks to take a short it down if we get a good one. Let's see if we do. If not, we'll, play our longs because we're bullish all day. A lot of space. But like I said, we're testing the retest. Let me stop. I was about to enter the trade already right there. But let's see if we get a retest. Okay, the retest saved you on this one. Also, it made a gap. Like I said, sometimes if a candle is super big, you should always wait just because even if it goes your way, it can pull back a lot, stop you out, and then go your way. So if it's a huge candle like this, you want a huge candle where the candle opened below and closes above, and then the next candle opens like here, like closer to the thing. Let me see if I can find one like that. Like this, like it came through and opened close enough to here where you don't need to wait for the pullback, but far enough where you can enter. Like that's better versus when it just opens super far like this. Like it opened at the bottom of the EMA and then just ran up, so now you have all this space to come back to. I wouldn't enter off that. But you can. Some people don't even use hard stop losses. So you don't use a hard stop loss, you do whatever you want, as long as your account can handle it. Okay. So we got a fair value gap, inverse, retested, push below, and we're about to have space from the EMA to get in, I think, on this one. Oh, we're so close to this that I don't know if I'd enter off this either. But for backtesting purposes, let's see. Boom, played out. Oh, wait, we got stopped out for it to go our way by like a tick. Hold on, let's move this for right gap. Come and see. Oh, that hurts. I honestly might have moved my stop. I'm not gonna lie. I might have moved it up just a little bit. Oof, that hurts. That does hurt because that's a nice candle closed below this IFEG. And we just came up to this order block, I guess, and then continued lower. So that's why I see why people have not a hard stop loss. That's a good entry, but it is the retest, I guess. Go to the next New York session. Okay. This looking like we're going up to these London highs and previous day highs is what it looks like. So let's see if we get EMA confirmation. We have a lot of space between this one, but we're just breaking this one. But you know what? For backtesting purposes, we can see. And then we'll see what we should have done better or worse. Ooh. But played out. So, boom. I had a feeling because we were barely breaking this 200. This is why my stop loss is big as fuck. The prime reason why it's just big as fuck. So I'm just riding these waves and did not lose and won this trade. This is messy, actually. And this is why usually I say enter when we're above all four, but I've seen it like this where this did look, before we played this out, this looked very strongly bullish that we're just going to shoot straight up. So, and that's why your stop loss is the low, and it definitely played out. Let's see what happens if you got in right when we broke all four. See, you would have lost. When we broke all four was right here. I mean, it's the same entry actually, so I think it still hit. Depending on our brokerage though, our broker and our spreads, this might have not closed us. But on NinjaTrader, I've been filled immediately, which is nice. So, and if not, you just close again once we hit here. When we hit the EMA. So we did not go previous day's high. And so sometimes like higher time frames, I like watching them, but I don't because you'll be like, oh, we're clearly bullish, previous day high up here, and then we're just not. Like, look at this, we just ran down the rest of the day. So honestly, if you take a small win like this, get back in. You got the same confirmation below all four here with space from the EMA, and that shit ran down for you. And that's why I like 200 ticks, because even if I'm wrong on the day, you usually can get 200 ticks on NQ. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, so you get 300 now on the way back down. Thank you for the follow. So this is why I added EMAs, because yes, if you just look at ICT, you know, we're clearly bullish. Like, we're going up, we're taking out buy side on the London highs, the Asian highs. Like, you know, we already are doing the things, and then the EMA was like, actually, we're not. So, and then you, either way, you got in. Even though we still got a decent entry on the EMA here, but like I said, so I'm not sure because we're so close to this. I don't even know which one this is. The 200, yes. But the 200 is like a VWAP, you know, so it's like, we're so close. I was like, I don't know, man. But it wound up playing out to the tick. We would have either almost made all our money, maybe move stop to break even at that point and just not lost on that trade because it came so close, you know what I'm saying? Or just not taking it. All three are valid versus this one was way cleaner. So let's go to the next New York session. I mean, we look like we're just clearly going down again, but let's just see the EMAs are actually showing us that we're below all four. And we have space. This is the 930 candle, so we always let that one play out. We don't just enter off of that. And then you enter. Now, if you want to wait for a pullback, I totally don't blame you. Yeah, see, it's not even 200. It's 166. So we have hella room. But again, you don't have to risk the same amount to make the same amount. That's just a personal choice. Let's see. It could be, boom, immediately amazing. It's not like you are risking 1 and 2, but it's like, sometimes like you're not. Like, if we candle closed above this, we're out. Or like we, you know, a full candle closed above our EMAs. So I like it. I meant to make a video about that. It's more like it's like an in-between of a hard stop loss and a mental. Because some people don't trade hard stop losses, y'all. They set a buy, they have their take profit, and they let the trade play out. And then they mentally, like, if we just close way above here, we're done. So that's why, like, I like having that 200 because it's big. And half the time I can shorten it. Like, my trade today, this morning, like, the stop loss was up here. And I entered, like, down here. So I got to move it to this high. And then I got to move it again after we made like some more highs. But at the same time, it's just like, the one yesterday, the loss, I closed early. I didn't close at 200 ticks. I closed at like 110 because it was a confirmation that we were already reversing. So it's like, but again, there's nothing wrong with the 1-to-1 either. I've seen a lot of people trade 1-to-1s. A lot of people, especially scalpers. This is the one where we could go lower, we could go higher. We didn't sweep this or this, but we're kind of pretty much down enough that we could push up. We're far on the 5-minute. There is not any fair value gaps. I'm a fair value gap trader, but if there's just not any, then I'll use an order block or, you know, demand zone, whatever, you know, depending on what your strategy is. So you can wait for that, which all lines up with what again? The 200 and 100 EMAs. That's why I've added the EMAs, because it just helps things just be so much better. And look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, this is still not ideal because this is a gigantuan candle. If you set your limit order, you were straight. Yeah, 200 tick candle is crazy. So, okay, it came back. It pulled back a little bit. I wouldn't be scared to enter off that. That wick is a little big for me, though. You know, I would love it to still be, I like it to be a strong candle. A wick could mean, like, yeah, it came down, but now we swept some liquidity to go back higher. So, we swept the Asian liquidity now. So, a long wick on the bottom after a candle like that is a risque move. But for backtesting purposes, but obviously, if you don't feel good about it, you don't take it. So, But like 200 is nothing on Q, but it's also so nothing, it could just stop us out. So I'm scared on this one. See, but let's just see. All right, got it. Scared money don't make nothing. See, because that's the thing. Sometimes it could easily gone up and take all this buy side out. But you know what? We got our EMAs confirmed the entry. So we waited for the pullback, but we couldn't get in anyway because one, it was right at 930. 930 came up. And again, we were touching the EMAs. I don't get in and touch. I need it open at a space. It can open if it's open and it's touching it. I'm not getting in. I don't care. Opening on a space. That's just extra confirmation. So with ICT, we added that order block because we kind of had a feeling like we came down a lot. We should come back into something, especially at 930 on the volume. So it's like you can pair both together, but at the same time you can trade literally just the EMAs as you can see. But it just lines up so good that you know. And obviously, I learned ICT, so I can't just like unlearn it. So for EMS to be lagging, they're just too good. So that's why. And then there's days like this or this. My stop loss was big, and it wound up, you know, because if I did half, you know, you're washed. But if you did a limit order, you know, you're straight. You were done in this 5-minute candle. If you had a limit order, you were literally done in 5 minutes. So, do with that what you will. I mean, I'm going to get off the live. It's been chill, but let's do another one. Helping confirm my strategy. And just adding the 5 minutes. We could go to the London low. We could go up to previous day high. Either way, we'll wait. See, we're still hugging all four. I'm not entering. Okay. Now, again, you can wait for a rebalance in the middle of this gap. Or sorry, the show I'm watching. Boom, done. See? And so everyone's like, oh, wait for a pullback, wait for a retest. I don't, because it just will leave you. And by the time it finally retests, we are at previous day high. We're probably going to reverse. So, I love that. Now, yeah, if you wait for the Ferrari get tap, we didn't get it. That's why someone's like, oh, your entries are bad, but I don't mind them at all. So, I'm about to get off live, though. It's been real, y'all. I'm supposed to be doing it at 8 o'clock, and I'm now just doing random, which is annoying, but I'll get on.